Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. Let's say for today's video. So it's Thursday, and Thursdays I sometimes do Thursday's Thirsty Thoughts, where I try to come up with a topic that is hopefully engaging, get us talking about in the comment section below. And this was a pretty easy topic for me to come up with. So obviously, I'm a huge fan of most Bourbon County and their variants. And we spent a lot of time talking about that. I love talking about that. I love those beers. For one of our anniversaries, we went out to Chicago, and it was to mostly see Hamilton because it was cheaper to see Hamilton in Chicago from New York versus us paying to go see it on Broadway. That's a whole other conversation. But like we picked the time where I could go to Goose Island, get the Bourbon County stuff. We could see Hamilton, do all the Chicago stuff. And I love that. So I'm not minimizing any of that. I love that. I get so excited. I made plenty of videos about that as a topic, right? But there's a lot of other cool beers that have been released recently or will be released in the near future, right? So I thought, let's use this video to hype up some really good beers we've had lately that aren't Goose Island's Bourbon County variants, and anything that's coming up that you're like super excited about. So I'll start talking about it. So for example, like near me, Woodland Farm, so I've reviewed some of their stuff, and I have some more stuff like literally sitting right here. Or sorry, Woodland Farm. They are different depending on the S or not. Sorry, Woodland Farm. They did a cool Black Friday thing where they had a lot of vintage barrel-aged beers. They did a big brunch and stuff, which was cool. Super local to me. I didn't really hear much about Black Friday stuff. That's the most local to me that I've heard of, and that's still like an hour and a half away maybe from me. I can't remember how long it took me to get there. But like, so that was cool. I didn't get to go to it. I know I was talking to Keith from 93 Lumber. Free Will does their Ralpheus release then, and really cool lineup that they had this year. Free Will just crushes it. So like, those were some that were, Black Friday specific. Not Black Friday specific, but still bourbon barrel aged stouts. Oh my God, guys, I have to tell you, I think I talked about it in a different. Yeah, I did it. I talked about it, and I know I'm drinking a Fidens beer right now too. And I talked about it in that chocolate or cacao and wild Thai bananas stout video. I mentioned it. Then when I went to pick up that beer, I saw Alan, one of the owners. He's like, "Did you try the stout that's on?" And I'm like, "Well, I bought a bottle of it." He's like, "No. We put on our first ever bourbon barrel aged stout." And I was like, I was just coming to grab like some cans in the bottle. I'm like, oh, I got time. I'll get a draft. Oh, sorry, because it was a draft only. So I'm like, all right, yeah, draft only. I'll have a pour. That beer was phenomenal. That beer was so good. I don't know, like the next time they'll release any barrel aged stuff. I don't know if they'll bottle any of it or if it's always going to be draft. I have no idea. Obviously, I don't have that information. I don't know what the future holds. But that beer was as good as any barrel-aged stout I've had this year. And then they released a coconut variant and a coffee and coconut variant. And also draft only. I didn't think that stuff would still be there. Some time had passed. When I say some time, like a week passed. But my friend Jim was coming into town, and he wanted to check out Fidens. So I'm like, yeah, let's go to Fidens. I really didn't think that stuff would still be on draft. I was shocked. All three were still on draft. The base, the coconut, and the coffee and coconut. So Jim tried the base. He loved it as much as I did when I first had it. So I started with a coconut. That coconut was even better than the base, which, again, the base like blew my mind. In a first attempt, ridiculous. The coffee was third place for me. The coffee coconut was third place for me. Still delicious. Still absolutely delicious. For me, the coffee with a little bit of coconut, I don't know, which is funny because like sometimes I'll use like coconut milk to make a creamer to put in coffee, but like it just didn't hit as hard as the base for me or the just coconut for me. Like it was still phenomenal though, but like that's why it was like slightly less than the other two. But yeah, I would put it coconut base and then that one. Again, I cannot overemphasize out the gate how great that was. In terms of some beers that I haven't had yet, just being December, I'm really excited to drink, and I've already had one of them, some of my like aged Christmas beers. So like that's something I always look forward to is Christmas beers. I love them. I just happen to have so many beers right now. I'm probably not going to buy probably any, or at least a whole heck of a lot of new stuff that's Christmas related. So for me, like as a consumer right now, I'm just kind of drinking what I already have in terms of Christmas beers. But it's definitely a time of year I love. And I used to love getting like the Sam Adams, Christmas pack. What I used to do is I get the Christmas pack from Sam Adams and Saranac, and it'd be like 2 of each bottle, and then I would, swap them out. I'd keep one, and I'd give my dad the other one, so we could have, all 12 from both breweries, and that was always a cool thing to do, and so like that's certainly something I'm really excited to keep doing is drinking some of these Christmas beers I have behind me that have been aging. So yeah, that's my answer to both questions. So I guess that's my answers. But yeah, what are your thoughts? What is something, whether it's Black Friday specific that you got that wasn't Goose Island, Bourbon County, or just another beer you've had lately that was released recently, or a upcoming release you're super excited about? And I'll probably, you'll have seen the title before I type it, but it'll probably be something like let's hype up some other breweries and beers or something. And that's the whole point of this is, let's just give them some time to shine in that comment section below. We'll get some conversations going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untappd. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.